My child, I have come to speak directly to your spirit, not to your fears, not to your past, not to the voice that told you it's too late. I speak to the fire that's still alive in you, even if it flickers, even if it's hidden beneath the rubble of disappointment. You were chosen, not because you were the strongest, not because you had the most support, but because you carry a divine assignment to break chains others could not. Some of these chains were forged generations ago, chains of silence, chains of lack, chains of addiction, rejection, betrayal. You've wondered why your path has felt harder than others, why the weight seems heavier in your bloodline. It's not because you're cursed, it's because you were called. And the one who is called faces what others avoided, stands where others ran, endures what others could not handle. But I tell you this, you will not be buried beneath these chains. You will shatter them. There is a divine authority rising in you, not tomorrow, not when everything feels perfect, but now, in the middle of the war. Heaven does not wait for your comfort to move. Heaven moves when you say yes in the face of fear. And you said yes, even if you whispered it, even if you doubted yourself 5 minutes later. That whisper reached heaven like a roar. So I was sent. I am Michael, defender of the people of God, breaker of spiritual sieges, commander of the Lord's army. And I declare over you, the struggle ends with you. The pattern ends with you. The torment, the lack, the confusion ends with you. I do not speak empty words. I am not a messenger of comfort without power. I have been dispatched to war on your behalf. And even now, I draw my sword in the spirit against every stronghold that has dared to lay claim to your life. The chain of fear that paralyzed your mother, broken. The chain of poverty that strangled your father, broken. The chain of confusion that tormented your bloodline, broken. You are not who they said you would be. You are not who your trauma tried to shape you into. You are being remade, not by effort but by fire. Holy fire, heaven's fire, refining you, not destroying you. There is more in you than you've ever seen. And that's why hell worked overtime to distract you, to discourage you, to delay you. But the delay is over. The fog is lifting. The veil is tearing. And the truth is being revealed. You are the breaker. You are the one that hell fears. You didn't ask for this fight, but you were born for it. And heaven never sends warriors into battle without backup. You felt alone. But I have been closer than your breath. In every sleepless night, in every tear-soaked pillow, in every moment you almost gave up, I stood beside you, sword drawn, and I'm still here. Because your victory is not a hope, it is a decree. Heaven has already seen you free, already seen you whole, already seen the chains and pieces beneath your feet. That vision is not a fantasy. It's your future, and I am here to make sure it comes to pass. The enemy's whispers are growing louder because he's losing grip. Do not mistake resistance for failure. Do not confuse warfare with weakness. You are not being buried. You are being reborn. And I declare by divine authority that what took others decades to escape, you will break in days. That what haunted your bloodline for centuries will tremble at your voice. You may not see it yet, but your spirit knows it's true. That's why you've been restless. That's why comfort could never satisfy you. You were never meant to survive. You were meant to conquer. I speak to every spiritual chain wrapped around your mind, and I command it to fall. I speak to every demonic delay in your finances, and I sever it now. I speak to every inherited burden that was never yours to carry, and I strip it from your shoulders. Lift your head. Your authority is returning. Your vision is sharpening. Your steps are aligning with heaven's rhythm. Do not listen to those who told you this is just life. This is not just life. This is war, and you are winning. By the hand of God, you are rising. By the sword of the Spirit, you are cutting through what others surrendered to. You will be the reason future generations breathe freely. You will be the story they tell when they speak of miracles. You will be the first in your line to walk unchained. And when you feel tired, remember you're not alone. Heaven backs you. I back you. And I will not stop until you stand over the rubble of every broken chain. This message is not for the masses. It is for you. You who almost gave up. You who questioned your worth. You who kept walking even when it hurt. I honor you. Heaven honors you. You've been hidden, but not forgotten. Tested, but not disqualified. Pressed, but never abandoned. You are chosen, and the time has come to rise. You kept walking, even when no one clapped. You kept believing, even when every prayer seemed to echo. You kept choosing light, even when the darkness felt more familiar. And I tell you now, heaven has not changed its mind about you. You were not a mistake. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. Every delay, every detour, every storm was part of the training, part of the refinement, part of the holy fire that shaped your spirit into a weapon. You think you've been waiting for God, but heaven has been waiting for you to realize who you are, to remember what you carry. You're not weak, you're awakening. You're not late, you're arriving. You're not cursed, you're marked. Marked by the hand of the Almighty, marked for breakthrough, marked to destroy the altars of limitation and fear. And now the winds are shifting. The spiritual realm is moving in your favor. What once resisted you will now bow, not because of who you are in the flesh, but because of who you are in the Spirit. Your name is known in heaven and feared in hell. You carry the anointing of a breaker. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to play small. That pressure you felt, it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Heaven doesn't prepare weak vessels for strong assignments. You were forged for this. And now I declare, the time of hiding is over. The time of hesitation is over. The season of spiritual sleep is over. You are waking up to power, to clarity, to divine timing. What used to confuse you will now make sense. What used to intimidate you will now bow. What used to chain you will now fear you, because your spirit is rising, because your agreement with heaven is deepening, because you have said, even with trembling lips, I will not give up. And that sound, your resolve, it was heard in the courts of heaven. It was like thunder in the spirit. So now, every angel assigned to you is moving. Every promise over your life is being reignited. Every door that was shut by demonic hands is being forced open. You will walk through what was closed. You will drink from wells you did not dig. You will sit at tables prepared in the presence of every enemy. And those enemies, spiritual and natural, will see the favor of the Lord wrap around you like fire. Not because you earned it, but because you refuse to let go of God. Your persistence in pain has become a weapon. Your endurance in silence has become a roar. Do you feel it now? That trembling in your chest, that stirring in your soul. That's not emotion, that's divine recognition. Your spirit remembers who you are. You're not just breaking chains, you're breaking records in the spirit. You're going where no one in your bloodline dared to go. You're claiming land that others gave up on. And yes, the warfare will try to rise again, but it won't work. It can't, because you're no longer who you used to be. Your wounds have become wisdom. Your tears have watered the very ground you will now reap from. And your pain, yes, your pain has made you unshakable. I say this now with fire in my voice. No more cycles, no more shame, no more spiritual amnesia. You know who you are now, and so does hell. That's why attacks tried to escalate. That's why your mind felt like a battlefield. But I have news for every force that came against you. The war is turning. Angels are encamping around your home. Angels are guarding your name. Angels are holding back what was sent to destroy you. You are surrounded, but not by darkness, by light, by heavenly warriors, by divine backup, by glory. And I, Michael, stand at the front. My sword is drawn, my shield is raised, and I declare, you will break through, not by striving, not by begging, but by divine decree. The power to break through is not something you chase, it's something you carry. It was placed inside you before you took your first breath, before the trauma, before the betrayal, before the fear, and now it's awakening. Don't be surprised when things begin to fall away. Old relationships, false opportunities, outgrown mindsets. They cannot follow you into this new dimension. They were attached to the version of you that no longer exists. What's coming requires space, and heaven is clearing the way. You will not miss what was never meant to stay. You will not grieve what was only sent to test your discernment. You will not shrink to make others comfortable with your calling. You were never meant to be small. You were meant to shine, to roar, to carry the sound of heaven into places where darkness thought it won. You are anointed, you are protected, you are chosen, and every enemy of your soul knows it. Now walk like it, speak like it, pray like it. The chains are breaking, not tomorrow. Now, and when you feel doubt creeping in, remember this: you are not walking alone. Heaven is with you. The hosts of glory surround you, and I, Michael, war beside you. This is not the end. This is the rising, and you are just getting started. The heavens are watching. The earth is shifting, and your name, your true spiritual name, has been released in the atmosphere with power. You didn't come this far just to survive. You were sent to redeem territory, to set captives free, to bring honor back to a name that others dragged through shame. You were born into a bloodline full of battles, not by accident but by assignment. I know you've asked, why me? Why does it feel like I carry what others ignored? Why does it feel like my soul has been wrestling since I was a child? Because you are the breaker, the restorer, the interruption to everything demonic that claimed ownership of your family tree. You are not the victim of that bloodline. You are the healing in it. You were born to be the turning point. Heaven trusted you with what others abandoned, because God knew you would not give up, even when others folded under pressure, even when others turned to bitterness, even when others ran from the call. You stayed. You stayed in the fire. You stayed through the silence. You stayed when it didn't make sense. And that staying power, that loyalty, that raw surrender, it has built an altar in the spirit that now cries out to heaven, louder than any curse ever spoken against you. And I declare to you now, your bloodline will breathe because of you. You are breaking not just your own chains, but the invisible yokes that crushed your mother, that drained your father, that strangled your grandparents in silence. This is not imagination. This is spiritual warfare, and you are winning because you have not fought alone, and you will not finish alone. I, Michael, stand with you, and the angels assigned to your family, the ones who were resisted for generations, they are now activated. Because of your obedience, because of your surrender, because of your yes when you could have said no. You may not feel strong, but strength is not a feeling, it is a decision. And you have chosen strength again and again, even when your heart broke, even when your mind was clouded, even when the lies screamed louder than the promises. You kept going. And because of that, the curse is breaking, the heaviness is lifting, the chain reaction of freedom has begun. You've broken the silence, you've broken the fear, you've broken the pattern of quitting, and now the ripple will begin. Your children, even if not yet born, will walk in what you fought for. Your siblings will feel the shift even if they don't understand it. Your ancestors who longed for freedom but never found it, they will rejoice in the Spirit because of what you are doing now. This is sacred. You're not just living, you're fulfilling prophecy. You thought you were starting from scratch, but you're actually finishing what others began in prayer but could not complete in action. The tears of your grandmother, the unspoken prayers of your father, the broken hopes of your lineage. They are being gathered. They are being answered through you. And I say this now with the full authority of heaven: you will not fail. You will not fall short. You will not die in the wilderness. The wilderness was training, not punishment. The silence was preparation, not rejection. The struggle was birthing strength, not breaking your future. And now the time of birthing is here. The pain is peaking because the promise is crowning. You are about to see with your eyes what your spirit has carried for years. Breakthrough, not just for you, but through you. Healing, not just for your heart, but through your voice. Glory, not just around you, but living inside you. Every demonic contract written in secret against your family's name, I now tear it in the spirit. Every generational word curse, I silence it by the decree of the Most High. Every door of affliction that stayed open for too long, I now slam it shut by the fire of God. Your name will be known for righteousness. Your story will be one of resurrection. Your legacy will be one of light. And I charge you now, do not stop. Even if you feel nothing, even if you see no results today, keep walking. Because faith is not in what you feel, it is in what you know. And your spirit knows this is real. Your spirit knows this is the time. Your spirit knows that this is why you were born. You weren't just saved, you were sent. You weren't just spared, you were summoned. You are heaven's answer to years of oppression. You are the sword that was hidden in a dark place, now being drawn for battle. You are the echo of divine promises now taking flesh. So move forward, not with fear, but with fire, because what you are building now will outlast you. What you are tearing down will never rise again. And what God is releasing through you, no man, no demon, no failure can stop. Remember, my child, the very fact that you're still standing proves that darkness couldn't break you. And if it couldn't break you then, it cannot stop you now. Let the chains fall. Let the past be buried. Let the new era begin. You are not just a survivor, you are a breaker. Not just a warrior, but a reformer. Not just anointed, but appointed for this very hour. The heavens roar with you. The angels march with you. And I, Archangel Michael, declare this over you. You will break the chains others couldn't. And what begins with you will never end. There is a turning in the heavens, a holy shaking beneath your feet. Can you feel it? Not fear, but fire. Not trembling from weakness, but awakening from slumber. You are not at the edge of breakdown. You are at the edge of breakthrough. The war you've been fighting is about to shift. You have faced enemies that did not come for your flesh, they came for your spirit. Not just to slow you down, but to silence you. Not just to delay you, but to discourage the ones watching your life. Because what you carry is contagious. If you had given up, others would have too. If you had stayed silent, others would have remained blind. But you stood your ground, even when it felt like the ground was disappearing beneath your feet. I saw it. Heaven saw it. The Father recorded every moment, every tear you swallowed in secret, every sleepless night you spent praying over a future that still looked dark, every moment you chose not to curse God, even when your heart screamed in confusion. Those were not wasted moments. They were sacrifices. And heaven honors sacrifice. The weight you felt, it's not because you're weak. It's because the realm of darkness recognized that you were about to realize your strength, so it hit harder. It screamed louder. It tried to provoke you into forgetting your identity. But you remembered, even in the fog, even in the fire. You remembered who you belonged to, and now the balance is shifting. The angelic reinforcements have arrived. Chains are not just rattling, they are shattering. The strongholds that gripped your life are being confronted by fire. The prayers you thought were ignored, they were stored in the chambers of heaven, soaked with your faith, marked with your name. And now they are being released back to you as answered fire. Yes, fire. Because what's coming is not a quiet blessing. It's not a whisper of peace. It's a roar of victory. This is not the season of subtle miracles. This is the season of public turnaround. Those who mocked you will marvel. Those who doubted will have no words. Those who tried to curse you will fall silent in the glory that surrounds you. Because this victory will not be small. It will not be hidden. It will not be delayed. I speak as one who stands before the throne. The war you've been fighting, the one that nearly broke you, is about to break for you. You have wrestled long enough. You have carried wounds and smiled anyway. You have sown in tears. Now you will reap in power. This war wasn't just about your life. It was about your influence, your voice, your calling, the ripple effect of your obedience. Hell saw what would happen if you got free, if you healed, if you rose, and it panicked. That's why the attacks intensified. That's why the betrayal felt personal. That's why the delays felt like suffocation. But I tell you now, the delay is over. The warfare is collapsing, and what stood in your way is now under your feet. You will not walk into this next chapter alone. I go before you. Angels flank you. The fire of God covers you. Even now, heaven is restoring what you lost. Time, confidence, clarity. It's all coming back, multiplied. You will look at yourself and not recognize who you've become. Not because you changed, but because you finally remembered. The glory resting on your shoulders now. It was always there. It just had to be revealed through pressure. And that pressure ends here. From this moment forward, the spiritual climate around you shifts. The atmosphere is cleared. The veil is torn. The fog is lifting. You will dream again. You will trust again. You will love again. Without fear. And every chain that told you this is just how it will always be is being broken by truth. Truth that says you are not bound. You are breaking through. Truth that says you are not cursed. You are chosen. truth that says you are not done, you are just beginning. Do not measure your destiny by what you've seen so far. Do not compare your timeline to those who never carried your weight. Do not let the pace of others rob you of the fire in your own steps. You are on divine timing, and this chapter of your life will be marked by speed. Things that took years will now take weeks. Doors that wouldn't open will now swing wide. People who vanished will try to return, but you will have discernment now, because you are not the same. You've been tested in silence. Now you will be trusted with influence. You've been crushed in private. Now you will be lifted in public. But stay humble, stay surrendered, stay watchful, because favor is not a trophy, it's a responsibility. What God is placing on your life will not just bless you, it will deliver others through you. You are becoming the breakthrough, not just walking into it, becoming it. So speak with power, pray with fire, walk with the unshakable knowing that I, Archangel Michael, stand with you. I guard what God has assigned to you. I war against what tries to steal your peace. I tear down what lifts itself up against your name. And I speak this with all the authority given to me by the King of Glory. You will break the chains others couldn't. The war has shifted. Victory is moving fast. And your spirit, it's rising. Let the fire burn brighter. Let your worship shake the heavens. Let your life silence hell. You are not who you were. You are who God always knew you would become. And no power of darkness can argue with that. Listen to me now. You were born to end this. You were chosen to draw the line. What devoured your ancestors will not devour you. The curse stops with you. I say it again so your soul can absorb it. The curse stops with you. This is not just about personal pain. This is about ancestral war. This is about spirits that have followed your bloodline, feeding off of patterns, feeding off of fear, feeding off of silence. They fed on silence until you spoke. They fed on compromise until you stood. They fed on generational trauma until you broke the agreement. You did not choose this fight, but heaven chose you for it. You were raised in places where darkness was familiar, but your spirit refused to conform. You were exposed to dysfunction, but something inside you said, "This cannot be the end of the story." And it's not. You are the divine interruption, the firewall, the walking declaration that says, "This family will know freedom." You didn't survive that trauma for no reason. You didn't walk through that heartbreak for no purpose. You didn't lose everything just to live small and safe. You went through the valley so you could come out carrying others with you. You're not just carrying breakthrough. You are becoming breakthrough. You're not just fighting generational demons. You're replacing them with generational blessings. And I declare to you now, what has tormented your bloodline for decades will end in your lifetime. What your grandmother feared, what your father never spoke of, what your siblings still can't name. You have faced it head on. It trembled when you refused to quit. It shrieked when you called on the name of the Lord. It scattered when you praised, even while bleeding. Because that's what makes you dangerous. Not your perfection, your persistence. Not your titles, your testimony. Not your wealth, your worship. Every day you get up and choose light, you are tearing down what generations before you couldn't name. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of revenge, you are breaking bricks in the wall the enemy tried to build around your family's destiny. You are not the problem, you are the proof that the problem is dying. The spirit of addiction ends with you. The pattern of poverty ends with you. The cycles of shame, of silence, of self-sabotage, they end with you. You are not crazy for feeling the weight of battles no one talks about. You are discerning what others ignored. You are waking up in places where others stayed asleep. You have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart that will not quit until freedom flows through your family like living water. That's why you've been under attack, because the enemy saw your potential before you did. That's why some battles came for you young, to wear you down before you even understood who you were. But I say this with fire from the throne. The enemy miscalculated, because the very wounds meant to break you have become weapons in your hands. Your pain has become prophecy. Your scars have become symbols of victory. Your story, raw, broken, redeemed, is a weapon of mass deliverance. Don't let the delays lie to you. Don't let the pain poison you. Don't let the warfare weary you. You are closer than you know. And I, Archangel Michael, have not left your side. Even when the room felt empty, I stood watch. Even when your prayers felt unheard, I carried them. Even when the night felt endless, I warred for you in silence. You've cried out, "How long, Lord?" And heaven has whispered back, "Until it's finished." And now, it is finishing. The last roots of that generational curse are being ripped out. The final cracks in the old foundation are breaking apart, and new ground is forming beneath your feet. This is holy ground. This is inheritance ground. This is the land your spirit has fought for in dreams, in tears, in silence. And now, you will walk in it. Do not look back. Do not go back to what God called you out of. Do not water down your fire to fit into spaces that never honored it. You are not being arrogant. You are being awakened. You are not being dramatic. You are being delivered. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for the territory you were born to reclaim. Lift your head, square your shoulders, and walk forward like someone who carries heaven's decree in your chest. Because you do. You are the one who will be remembered as the curse breaker, the history changer, the cycle destroyer, and not just remembered in this world, but written into the chronicles of heaven. For every unseen battle, for every quiet surrender, for every moment you chose God instead of giving up, your name is recorded, and the curse that once mocked your bloodline now trembles at it, because it knows its time is up. You are rising, you are leading, you are unlocking doors in the spirit that no man can shut. And I stand with you, sword drawn, fire lit, ready for what comes next. You will walk in freedom. You will leave an inheritance of light. You will rewrite what your children believe is possible. Because this is who you are, a breaker, a warrior, a walking manifestation of God's promise to your family line. The curse stops here. The curse stops now. The curse stops with you. And nothing in hell can reverse it. There comes a moment in every warrior's life when silence is no longer strength, when stillness becomes surrender, when the time to wait ends and the time to move begins. This is that moment. You've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been asking for confirmation. But listen closely now. Heaven is not just giving you permission. Heaven is backing your bold moves. No more hesitation. No more second-guessing the fire God placed inside you. No more bowing to fear that was never yours to carry. You are not reckless. You are ready. You are not overreaching. You are rising. You are not stepping out alone. You are stepping into the current of divine momentum. The path in front of you won't be made by ease. It will be carved by obedience. Obedience that doesn't need a perfect plan, just a faithful heart, obedience that walks even when the terrain looks unfamiliar, obedience that speaks when silence would feel safer. Because boldness is not about arrogance, it's about alignment. You are not inventing this next chapter, you are unlocking it. The keys were placed in your spirit long ago. Now the locks are breaking, one by one, door by door. What you once thought was impossible is beginning to respond to your authority. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're finally owning who you are. You are not just a believer, you are an ambassador. You are not just a dreamer, you are a doer. You are not just hoping, you are declaring. And I tell you now, every step you take in faith will be met by angelic force. We are moving with you, going before you, guarding behind you. You've spent long enough asking, what if I fail? But what if you don't? What if the doors actually open? What if the favor actually flows? What if the chain reaction you've been praying for starts with your yes? Yes to the book, yes to the business, yes to the relocation, the reconciliation, the restoration, whatever the bold move is. If God placed it in your heart, you will not be forsaken when you take the first step. Heaven does not back wishful thinking, it backs divinely aligned action. Do not mistake your quiet season for lack of favor. It was training, it was refining, it was building the strength that would carry the glory. And now, you carry it well. That's why the warfare tried to distract you. Because the enemy cannot stop a child of God who finally knows their authority. You don't need the approval of people who never saw the vision. You don't need the validation of voices that went silent when you suffered. You don't need to convince anyone of your calling. You need only to move and let heaven prove it. Because that's exactly what is about to happen. Heaven will prove that you were chosen. Heaven will prove that the fire in you was real. Heaven will prove that when you walk by faith, signs and wonders follow, not because of performance, but because of presence. And the presence of God is with you. You don't carry empty words, you carry weight in the Spirit. You don't speak from fear, you speak from fire. You don't move to escape, you move to establish. This is a Joshua moment. You've wandered long enough. Now it's time to possess the promise. You are not going in alone. You are not crossing into the unknown. You are stepping onto land that was always yours. You just needed the boldness to claim it. So claim it. Take the step. Launch the vision. Have the conversation. Close the chapter that keeps draining your light. Heaven is backing your boldness. And where fear tries to rise up, I will stand beside you. Sword drawn, shield lifted. Angel armies in formation. You do not move empty-handed. You move with oil, with word, with destiny pressing from the inside out. And every time you obey, the chains crack louder, not just for you, but for those watching you. Because you are the proof someone else needs. You are the confirmation someone prayed for. You are the reason someone else will believe they can begin again. Don't underestimate what your obedience unlocks. One step in the natural, and I release 100 moves in the spiritual. One bold word from your lips, and angels are assigned. One choice to walk away from what no longer serves your calling, and heaven rearranges your path to fit your purpose. You've hesitated long enough. You've analyzed until your spirit grew weary. But this moment, this divine window, won't wait forever. The water is stirred. The wind is behind you. The ground is ready to receive your steps. Walk now, and walk boldly. You're not just leaving the old behind. You are walking into what was promised before you were even born. Written in books sealed with light, foretold before your first breath, protected through every detour and delay. Now it's unfolding. Now it's your turn. Now it's your time. Don't delay it another day. Don't ask for 10 more signs when you already carry the confirmation in your chest. The chains were never stronger than your calling. They were just louder. But your spirit, your yes, silences every lie. It disrupts every delay. It commands the cloud to move, and now it moves, because you move. So go forth. Go fast. Go without fear. For I, Archangel Michael, stand ready, not to fight battles you're too afraid to face, but to back you as you take the bold steps you were always meant to take. You're not running. You're not hiding. You're advancing. And heaven is roaring in agreement. You were never meant to crawl where others collapsed. You were never called to be buried where others broke. You were born to accelerate. There is a supernatural speed resting on you now, an anointing that defies logic, a wind that doesn't come from this world. Because what took others years to build, you will establish in moments. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. This is not entitlement, this is empowerment. You are not skipping process, you are redeeming time. Time that was lost to confusion, time that was stolen by fear, time that was devoured by demonic delays. But now the time thief has been caught, and heaven is restoring. I say this clearly so your soul will believe it. You will make up for lost time. You will catch up to everything that tried to outrun you. You will rise so quickly, even you will be surprised. Because this is what happens when God says, now. Not someday, not maybe, not if you're good enough. Now is the time when the chains fall off. Now is the time when doors open that no man can shut. Now is the time when the blessing overtakes the battle. You have endured the slow. You have walked through the delay. But now you will run and not grow weary, because you are running on divine strength. You are not behind. You are right on time for God's plan. Everything you thought was a setback, it was alignment. Everything you cried over in confusion, it was purification. You thought you were being forgotten, but you were being fortified. Heaven was building your roots deep, so your fruit could reach nations. Heaven was clearing the path ahead, so you wouldn't be trapped in what snared those before you. And now, I declare this over your life. You will move in divine acceleration. You will see rapid recovery. You will experience multiplied returns. What others had to fight for decades to see, you will step into with a single act of obedience. Because God is redeeming the years the locusts devoured, the years stolen by confusion, illness, betrayal, and fear. He is not giving you scraps. He is giving you double. Not because you demanded it, but because you survived. You didn't become bitter. You didn't become cynical. You stayed soft. You stayed faithful. You stayed willing, even when you were weary. And now, your reward is being unlocked. I want you to hear me not just with your ears, but with your spirit. It's going to happen fast. Faster than the doubts can catch up. Faster than the opposition can prepare. Faster than the lies can reform. Suddenly, things will align. Suddenly, the opportunity will come. Suddenly, the resources will appear. Because heaven does not need time. Heaven uses timing, and this is your appointed time. Others will look and wonder, how did it happen for them so quickly? But they did not see the cost. They did not see the crushing. They did not see the nights of silent warfare. They didn't see you standing when every voice said to give up. But heaven saw it. Heaven recorded every tear. Heaven stored every sacrifice. And now, heaven is responding. You are not just walking into acceleration. You are walking into justice. Divine justice. Justice for what you lost. Justice for what was stolen. Justice for how you were misjudged and mishandled. God is not only moving you forward, He is vindicating your name. Where you were overlooked, you'll be honored. Where you were underestimated, you'll be established. Where you were cast out, you'll be called in. And I, Archangel Michael, am sent to clear the way. I go before you, breaking down invisible barriers, silencing demonic voices, striking down what tried to rise up against your call. You will not be slowed. You will not be tripped up. You will not be stuck in what your ancestors couldn't escape. The wilderness season is ending. The momentum is shifting. The oil is flowing, and it's flowing fast. What you couldn't move for years, you'll now move with a whisper, because it's not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit of the living God, and His Spirit is upon you now. So write the vision again. Speak the dream out loud. Dust off what you buried because of fear or fatigue. You're not too late. You're not disqualified. You're not forgotten. You are the chosen vessel, and the time is now. The delay was never denial. The silence was never rejection. The slow pace was never the end. It was preparation, and preparation is complete. Now you will build what lasts. Now you will carry what multiplies. Now you will birth what heaven designed through you before you even had a name. This is not just about success. This is about legacy. This is about generations. This is about shifting everything that once said you wouldn't make it. And it's not coming by force. It's coming by faith. You don't need to kick the door open. The door is opening because you knocked in obedience. You don't need to explain yourself. The fruit will speak for itself. You don't need to fear sudden success. You were prepared for it. You were not built for obscurity. You were built to shine without burning out, to rise without forgetting where you came from, to move fast but with holy balance. So move now. You have heaven's backing. You have angelic assistance. You have the full authority of your assignment. I will go where you go. I will guard what you birth. I will strike down what rises to challenge your timing. Because the pace you're about to walk in, it will shock the systems of hell. They thought they had time to stop you. They thought you were out of time. But you were being reserved for such a time as this. Now rise, move fast, reclaim the years. You will do in moments what others couldn't in decades, and no one, no demon, no delay, no lie can stop what God has already put in motion. You were not born into your family by accident. You were assigned. Heaven placed you where cycles needed to be broken. Patterns needed to be ended. Strongholds needed to collapse under your authority. That weight you've carried since childhood. It wasn't punishment. It was evidence. Evidence that you were born to be the interruption. You felt different because you are different. Not in pride, but in purpose. Not because you are better, but because you were called. Called to end what others accepted, called to break what others normalized, called to confront what generations were too tired, too broken, or too afraid to face. But you rose up, and I, Archangel Michael, declare this over you now. You will break the chains that ruled your bloodline, and it will not break you in the process. The torment ends with you. The addiction ends with you. The poverty ends with you. The emotional bondage ends with you. Every curse, every pattern, every demonic agreement that once claimed authority over your family line, it now bows to the authority of God within you. Because when heaven chooses a breaker, hell sends pressure. Not because you're weak, but because you're a threat. You have felt the resistance. You've heard the whisper that said, "You'll end up just like them." You've seen the same battles show up again and again, generation after generation. But listen to me now. You were not just chosen to survive the pattern. You were chosen to shatter it. This is why the fire has been hotter for you. This is why the warfare was early, relentless, and often invisible. Because you carry something the enemy could not trace, a divine code written in your spirit before time began. And now, that code is being activated. What others could not finish, you will complete. What others had to bow to, you will rise above. You will not end in dysfunction. You will not end in lack. You will not end in fear or regret. You will not hand this bondage to your children. You will hand them freedom. Because this time, the chain breaker woke up. This time, the breaker said, "Yes, I have seen you fight battles no one knew about. I have seen you speak life even while breaking inside. I have seen you choose holiness when hell offered escape. And now I declare, the heavens are opening above you. Not for a trickle, not for a visit, but for a divine outpouring. What your ancestors labored for in prayer, you will walk in with ease. What was lost through compromise, you will redeem through obedience. You are the proof that the generational curse has been intercepted. It ends now. Not in theory, in reality. Because you said yes to the process. You surrendered when you could have rebelled. You pressed in when most would have turned back. The burden was heavy, but I tell you now, the mantle is heavier, and yet it will not crush you. It will carry you. For every tear you cried, heaven wrote down a victory. For every time you broke in private, heaven reinforced your foundation. For every night you wondered if it was worth it, heaven whispered, "It is." And now the fruit will begin to show. You won't just talk about freedom, you will walk in it. You won't just pray for peace, you will become it. You will be the first in your bloodline to do what others said was impossible, the first to break free and never return, the first to build what lasts, the first to be emotionally whole, the first to love without fear, the first to walk in legacy, not just survival. And this is not only about you. Your breakthrough is about everyone attached to your obedience. Because when a chain breaks, it never breaks quietly. Others will be delivered just by watching you live. They will ask how you did it. They will ask what changed. And you will say, "God chose me, and I said yes." The same hands that trembled in weakness will now heal others with strength. The same mouth that once stammered in fear will now speak with divine boldness. You are not like the ones before you. You were not created to follow their fate. You were not destined to repeat their ending. You were called to break the cycle and begin a new one. Where death once ruled, life will flourish. Where shame once lived, glory will shine. Where silence once screamed, truth will sing. You will not run from your bloodline. You will redeem it. Not by force, not by pride, but by standing in the authority of heaven, fully awake, fully aware, and fully anointed. The war was never just about you. It was about your impact. It was about everything that would be set free the moment you stood up. And now you are standing, not in your own strength, but in the name of the Most High God. I am here, not only to protect you, but to celebrate what you've become. You made it through what should have broken you. You stayed when quitting felt safer. You burned, but you didn't bow. And now, the reward is breaking forth. The momentum will begin. The clarity will come. The family will feel the shift. The land will respond. The heavens will pour out what they held in reserve just for you. Chains are snapping even now, not by your works, but by your agreement. And I tell you this as a decree from the throne. Your bloodline has changed. Heaven has recorded it. Hell has recognized it. Earth will soon reflect it. You have broken the cycle. You have fulfilled the assignment. You have made the unseen kingdom seen through your obedience. You were chosen, and you did not run. Now you will build. Now you will bless. Now you will live as the first and not the last. For the chain ends here, and the glory begins. You are not walking into this next season timidly. You are entering as one who knows who they are. And what once intimidated your ancestors will now bow under your feet. This is not arrogance. This is divine awareness. You are no longer asking permission to be free. You are walking in freedom as a right. You have been entrusted with authority, not because of titles, not because of lineage, but because of your yes. The moment you surrendered, the moment you said, "God, use me, even if it costs everything," heaven marked you. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent not only to protect you, but to remind you of what you carry. There is weight in your voice. There is fire in your prayer. There is light in your steps, and darkness knows it. Every time you speak, the atmosphere shifts. Every time you enter a place, the enemy loses ground. And though you don't always see it, the spirit realm is trembling when you rise, because your authority isn't borrowed. It is sealed in heaven. You were trained in silence. You were prepared in secret. And now, the oil of that preparation is dripping from your life. It took pain, it took pressure, it took pruning, but it produced power. And that power is not to control others. It is to liberate them. You are walking proof that God chooses the humble to shame the proud, that He takes the overlooked, the dismissed, the misfit, and turns them into a movement. You are that movement. You are the deliverer raised up from within the very system that tried to crush you. You are the voice emerging from the wilderness others died in. You are the storm sent to destroy every altar built in rebellion against heaven. I say this not to flatter you, but to awaken you. Stop minimizing the mantle on your life. Stop shrinking in rooms you were sent to shift. Stop doubting your assignment because of their disbelief. They don't have to understand. They didn't go through what you did. They didn't cry those tears. They didn't fight those demons. They didn't bleed in silence. But God did see, and heaven did respond. Now the oil flows. Now the authority is unlocked. Now your name is known, not for fame, but for impact. You will go where others were blocked. You will speak where others were silenced. You will build where others only dreamed. And the spirit of fear that tormented generations will not survive your roar. You have been quiet long enough. You have second-guessed long enough. You have explained yourself long enough. Now you move. Not in reaction, but in revelation. Not in anger, but in assignment. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove God right. What He spoke over you is not void. What He placed within you is not random. What He anointed you for is now awakening. You've been hearing the call louder. You've been feeling the pull stronger. You've been sensing that something is about to break. And I confirm this. Yes, the veil is tearing. Yes, the chains are snapping. Yes, the moment is here. You are about to walk into rooms that generations prayed for. You are about to reverse decisions that locked your lineage in darkness. You are about to stand face to face with what once terrified your bloodline, and it will back down, because your presence carries presence. The Spirit of the living God is not just around you, He is within you. You've walked through fire, but the fire didn't consume you. It refined you. You've walked through wilderness, but the wilderness didn't break you. It trained you. Now you are armed, not with fear, not with religion, but with revelation and power. When you speak, chains fall. When you declare, angels respond. When you step forward, the earth aligns. This is not hype, it is heaven's record. This is not fantasy, it is prophetic truth. You are not a survivor, you are a breaker. And that breaker anointing on your life is generational. What you shatter now, your children will never have to fight. What you heal now, your grandchildren will carry as inheritance. You are building a new pattern, one of courage, one of purity, one of supernatural strength. And yes, you've lost things along the way. Yes, people turned when the fire intensified. Yes, you had to walk alone for a time, but look at you now, still here, still faithful, still believing. That is power. That is the mark of one who has been sent. That is the sign of someone who heaven trusts. You have proven that your faith is not for show. You've proven that your yes is not shallow. You've proven that even when no one clapped, you kept going. And now I say to you, the honor is coming. The restoration is coming. The vindication is coming. But even greater, the influence is coming. You will not have to beg for your voice to be heard. Heaven will amplify it. You will not have to demand recognition. Heaven will position you. You've been faithful over little. Now you will be trusted with much. And as I war on your behalf, know this: no backlash will touch your purpose. No retaliation will reverse your forward motion. No demonic resistance will hold back what God has decreed, because you are surrounded. You are backed. You are sealed. You don't walk alone. You walk with armies. And as you go, you will do more than break chains. You will raise others who break chains. You are not just a survivor of spiritual warfare. You are a general in it. So rise now, not timidly, but boldly, not confused, but with clarity. Your voice is a weapon. Your presence is a declaration. Your obedience is warfare. And I, Archangel Michael, say this to you in finality. You will not only shake what terrified others, you will establish what could not be built before you. You are the breaker, and the time is now. The chains are not breaking, they are broken. I speak to you now, not as one preparing for freedom, but as one who has already stepped into it. You don't need to wait for another sign. You don't need to beg for another confirmation. What held your bloodline for generations has been destroyed by your obedience. You broke it. You endured the silence that crushed others. You passed the test that disqualified many. You stood in the fire and didn't bow. And now the heavens declare it. The chain is shattered. Not one hook buried in your soul is left untouched. The cords have snapped. The patterns are reversed. The curses are uprooted. Now it is time to walk differently. You're not in survival anymore. You are in dominion. You don't speak like a victim of the old. You speak as a vessel of the new. For what heaven has birthed in you is not just a breakthrough. It's a blueprint. Others will follow it. Others will rise because of it. Others will stand on what you built with your bare hands and burning faith. And I say to you now, there is no going back. The door behind you is sealed. The bridges to bondage have burned. The grave that once called your name is empty and powerless. You are free, free to prosper without guilt, free to lead without fear, free to rest without shame, free to speak without trembling. This is your season of becoming. And I tell you, child of God, you will not just break chains. You will build kingdoms. You will stretch your hands over territories and watch them heal. You will plant truth in regions that never knew light. You will lift the broken and ignite a fire in those who forgot they were chosen. For your story will not end in private pain. It will end in public glory, not for applause, but for impact, not to be seen, but to shine. Because now, others need your sound. There are hearts waiting to hear someone who's walked through their storm. There are minds waiting to see someone who broke the pattern. There are souls waiting for a voice that proves freedom is real. And you are that voice. Your tears were not wasted. Your delay was not denial. Your scars were not shameful. They were evidence of battle won. Let them see them. Let them hear the truth. Let them witness the goodness of God through your life. Do not hide your story now. Do not silence the power that came through the pain. You have nothing to prove. You are already approved. Heaven's fingerprint is on your destiny. I, Archangel Michael, have warred beside you. I have defended the gates of your future when the enemy tried to storm them. And I will continue. Because your destiny is not just personal, it is territorial. You will claim ground your family never stepped on. You will enter rooms your bloodline never imagined. You will carry the glory of the Lord into places thought unreachable. Because this is not just freedom, it is multiplication. Everything you lost will return in greater measure. Every place of emptiness will overflow. Every delay will become a testimony of perfect timing. You are not behind. You are right on time. And now, the Spirit is accelerating you. Doors will open without effort. Resources will come without strain. People will recognize your mantle without explanation. Why? Because the chain breaker is now the builder, and you will build safe places for the wounded, paths for the misdirected, fire in those whose spirits grew cold. This is legacy, not built by hands alone, but by surrender. And as you surrender daily, heaven will pour fresh oil. Heaven will expand your influence. Heaven will send angels ahead of you. Do not fear success. Do not fear visibility. Do not fear elevation. You have been crushed enough to carry it humbly. And I tell you, no weapon formed will prosper, no tongue raised will stand. You are untouchable in the Spirit, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. I speak a final word over your journey. Walk as one who is already victorious, not in false humility, but in holy boldness. You have won battles others never saw. You have overcome shadows others still run from. You have stood in grace when logic said fall. Now the harvest begins. The season of tears ends. The season of building begins. The season of hiding ends. The season of reigning begins. You will be honored in the same place you were mocked. You will be elevated from the very ashes you once sat in. You will glow with the radiance of one who walked through hell and returned with keys. For you carry keys now, keys to unlock others, keys to territories, keys to deliverance. Use them. Speak boldly. Walk freely. Give generously. Rest deeply. You have nothing to earn, only fruit to bear. And I, Archangel Michael, seal this word over you. You were born to break the chains, and now you will lead others into liberty. You are the one who said yes and never looked back. Let this be your reminder. The same channel that brought you this word is the stream through which more will come. Like, comment, and subscribe, because this is the place where heaven will continue speaking into your future. Stay awake, stay anointed. You broke the chains others couldn't. Now walk as one who is completely free. Amen.